Is Beyonce's new music country?
I'm so lame. I'm so for this. I'm so glad they're canceling it. I think it's blown way out of proportion.
What's up, guys? It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Me and Lexi had flu/COVID. Something messed us up where she was exploding out of both ends and having massive body cramps. So it was like literally
I just have
COVID
like
and flu.
two things to say about that sickness. First of all,
It was not fun.
shit was like a week long.
Yeah, it doesn't help
Didn't
that
go to work.
You didn't help that you were having your period too.
And then, thanks, everyone. So, yeah, my period was coming as well. So, I had those symptoms along with this week-long freaking sickness that completely took me out. 25 years, I don't think I've ever endured a flu like that before. I don't really get sick. So, like, that sucked. I told my friend, he checked up on me, and I was like, yeah, I felt like I got hit by a bus, 16 cars, 32 trains. Like, I was just out. All you could do was sleep. I didn't eat or drink water for days. And no one really prepares you for a sickness like that. Like when you're not at home living with your mom. And then nobody prepares you for your freaking boyfriend to get it as well. So you just are both miserable. I know parents get this where their kids are sick and it's like both kids, then it's them getting sick. But yeah, it was a sad household. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And if it was COVID, I don't know. It made me think though, as soon as you get sick, everyone always asks, is it COVID? Like, when is that question gonna go away? Or are we stuck with that question for the rest of our lives?
No, I think we are stuck with that question for the rest of our lives. And I think another thing that when you get that sick, you forget how it feels. Like before the sickness, like you feel fine every day. Like you like when you get that sick, it sucks, and you don't like. It's like something that you don't want to ever happen again. You forget. Like when you were a kid growing up, I felt like I almost enjoyed getting sick because I knew I was not going to go to school and whatnot. But then when you get sick as an adult, you kind of like, dang, am I ever gonna feel normal again? Like
yeah, it was like I'm not joking. It was like the worst. It was like the biggest reset ever that I didn't know I needed because I we just didn't leave the house for 4 or 5 days. Couldn't function. Couldn't do things. And then you start thinking in your head and you're like, dang, I'm lazy. I can't go through this another day. And literally all you can do is rest. So that was a big... Yeah, I know even for him, I'm like, when he got sick, I was like, holy crap, is he going to go downstairs and work? Like, it's like, no, like, you're done. Like, all you can do is lay.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that we can
You definitely
get up
take
and
things
move.
for granted when you're not sick.
You do, yeah. You take pretty much...
Eating...
I think it changes. Being sick changes you. I feel like that just changes.
And it's weird because, like, because of COVID, you hear about, like, you know, I feel like COVID, that whole era, made you think that you might die if you get sick. So, like, I'm like, when you go to bed, like, I'm like thinking, like, feeling my heart, like, man, my heart's racing pretty fast.
I feel him, like, touching my heart. I'm like, half
I'm like,
asleep.
am I gonna die?
Yeah, I'm like, I made him, like, feel my back to see how, like. And also, can we talk about body aches?
Yeah, body aches.
I never experienced a sickness where my body aches.
Remember 2 Thanksgivings ago, it was almost like that exact sickness again.
We got that sick at his parents' house one time.
It was like the same exact thing.
But a lot worse. It didn't last.
It wasn't. I wasn't
this time.
You were throwing up. But.
This time it just lasted for so long. But anyway.
The last time I was throwing up too. This one I didn't get it near as bad.
Yeah, we literally went to his house, to his parents' house, got sick. That happened twice to me. Traveled to his parents' house and got sick twice.
And it was around Thanksgiving too, which was crazy because like. We don't want to go too much into this old sickness, but it was like we were around my grandma. We were both around my grandma, who's not in the best shape, and she didn't get sick.
Yeah,
but we were like throwing up.
Invincible.
Yeah, But since we missed last week, we are going to cover a few topics that we would have probably covered last week, but we're moving into this week. But then we also took things out that are no longer relevant. But the big thing is Beyonce's music. Beyonce's country music. Is Beyonce's... Wait, how should I phrase that? Is Beyonce's new music country? Because that's like a big debate. People are debating if it's country or not. So I tried looking up on the Grammys and Billboard's website what their definition of country is, but they don't have it. So the closest thing I could find was from Webster. And what the definition of country is music derived from or imitating the folk style of southern U.S. and western cowboy. Generally largely string companioned American popular music having roots in folk music. So from the definition, it is country. But I think the next question is it good country? And to me, I think it's not good country, but it's a good music, if that makes sense.
I think
it sounds like an R&B person.
I think it sounds like a country song if another country artist sang it.
Yeah.
But I can't hear Beyonce. When I hear Beyonce, I don't think of country, and her voice doesn't sound country. So like, you're hearing a song and you want it to be country, but you're hearing a thicker, whatever, gray type of deep voice instead of a certain, like even Darius Rucker. You remember how his voice is just like country, and it sounds country. It sounds country, like he's from fucking Alabama or something. It sounds like she's not from anywhere country, and she's from like California, and she just wants to sing a country song. Yeah. So it sounds like she's just singing a country song. And I don't care where she's from. Let's just say what I'm saying. But and I feel like she just sounds like she's singing a country song, and she's not country, if that makes sense.
She sounds like she's trying to sound country.
A country singer could sing an R&B song, and an R&B song would still sound country, just because a country singer's singing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it just sounds like she's trying to sound country, and so like, kind of go back to Darius Rucker, like, he's probably one of my favorite country musicians because I don't really like country music, so like, I don't know. I feel like it is country, but it shouldn't be like a Grammy award-winning country song or, win any country music awards. I think it's cool to have, someone like Beyonce who's, a pop singer kind of dabbling in country, especially that she's black. And, I think that's bringing a lot of new eyes to country. But I feel like also it's a marketing play. I feel like country's kind of on a pedestal right now with what Jelly Roll's doing. Jelly Roll's like going viral, and like I feel like he's putting a lot of eyes on country and like that genre, and so I feel like it's almost like a marketing play where maybe someone in their team.
But he sings normal country music. Oh, but he doesn't look like a country star.
Well, yeah, I feel like country right now is kind of like because of his amazing story, a lot of eyes on it. So
like breaking the niche.
Yeah, so I feel like she's kind of trying to maybe put more eyes on a genre that's kind of been lacking these past few years.
But also when you hear Beyonce, you hear Beyonce. It's like, oh, is that Beyonce singing a country song? Like, her voice is so distinct, and everyone knows her voice. If it's like played, it's Beyonce. So I feel like that's another reason why people are like, what? Country song? Beyonce?
So in short, yes, it's country.
But she can do anything.
But so in short, yes, it's country, but it's just not like a good country song that I would say should win a bunch of awards. But I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy listening to it because it's overplayed on every social media platform that you go on.
I haven't listened to the full thing. Maybe
I haven't listened to the
whole
whole thing, to be honest.
I mean, obviously she has more songs than that one. I wonder if
she's coming out with a whole country album.
I do think it'll be fun doing like the Hoedown or whatever that dance is called in Beyonce.
What?
The Hoedown?
Like line dancing?
Yeah.
All right, the next topic. So, yeah, next topic is Miami breaks up with spring break. So we're going to hop into that.
Hey, we need to talk.
This isn't working anymore.
And it's not us.
It's you. We just want different things.
Our idea of a good time is relaxing on the beach.
Hitting up the spa.
Or checking out a new restaurant.
You just want to get drunk in public and ignore laws.
Do you even remember what happened last March?
That was our breaking point, so we're breaking up with you.
And don't try to apologize and come crawling back. This isn't safe, so we're done.
And just so you know, we're serious.
This March, you can expect things like curfews, bag checks, and restricted beach access.
DUI checkpoints, $100 parking, and strong police enforcement for drug possession and violence.
Whatever it takes, because it's time to move on.
Maybe we can talk when you're done with your spring break phase, but until then.
I am against this because I feel like what's in the blood of Miami is like partying, and then maybe
Honestly, I'm so lame. I'm so for this. I'm so glad they're canceling it. I think it's blown way out of proportion. I remember being when we were young and in spring break, we did it crazy, but like there was no like killing and all these things that are going on. And I think the crime is so much worse than when we were kids. And if people go out and act a fool, which they are, hopefully that just like deters some people from going out. But somebody died in Miami last year. A couple people got shot.
Dies every year.
Yeah, but like for them, things like that must have been happening.
That's the heart of Miami.
They gotta do something. They party all the time. They're just trying to deter people from coming in and partying. People that don't live in Miami coming in.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of Miami. Miami is a melting pot. I mean, if you go to Miami, the native tongue is essentially Spanish in the first place. So it's like, I don't know.
They do it every year, though. So they make these little, TV commercials. This is just the best one. But they do make these commercials, and they're in the news every year trying to cancel Miami spring break or cancel spring break. And I do like this play. I'm not going to lie. You're probably going to deter just a few people. $100 parking fee. Who's going to pay that? People that can afford that.
No, but it's really the big thing that I don't like is curfews. That's like kind of like the state of Florida. The reason why people moved to Florida during the COVID time is because we weren't having those laws, those curfews that were put on the rest of the country because of COVID. But now because of partying and drinking,
I remember we had curfews. We never even listened to them. We went out for spring break.
I forgot what I was going to say. But anyways, I'm not for it. I think it's in the heart of Miami to be kind of like, especially spring break. I mean, because what are they going to do when Ultra's there? Is Ultra there this year? I'm pretty sure it's going to still be there. It's always going to be there. So whether they're going to make everyone after the concert of Ultra to go straight home, like that makes no sense.
Is Ultra during spring break?
Yeah, it's March.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like they're just trying to deter some people from Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for all of it besides the curfew.
Violence.
The curfew thing just makes no sense to me. Because, I mean, like, people, so maybe, I really probably should have done more reading on, like, what caused this. I mean, of course, they showed the headlines in that video, but, like, that's been going on for so long. I don't know.
I think you missed the really bad shooting that happened last year. Because, like I said, every year they make don't come to Miami. They're on the news. Spring break is canceled. Curfews. They always say a curfew. But last year, I think, was the worst Miami.
I didn't know you went.
Oh, I just watched the video before I gave it to you, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I watched the full video, not the 10 seconds that you just watched.
Well, we watched the whole thing, but you saw, like, the...
Full video.
Okay, like them talking about it and whatnot. Mm-hmm. All right. Now next to a TV show that we've been watching... my stomach. Halo. Updated review on Halo.
Which episode's out? Episode 4?
5. I don't know if you watched last week. I watched part of it. I watched it, but I did one of those watch where I just had it playing while I was working. But the updated review is it. In the beginning, the first episode was like an 8. It has dropped all the way down to maybe a 5. if you're a Halo, okay, so if you're a Halo fan, it's like a 5 or 4. Still, last year, this time during the season, it was like a 2 or 3. So it's still better than last season. It's just turning into not Halo again, and it's becoming very slow because I feel like they might have just invested a lot of more money into a big battle scene that hasn't showed yet. That they're doing like these smaller battles that aren't as entertaining because they're not in their armor. But yeah, the show has just kind of been really annoying these past 3-4 episodes, and I'm low-key hoping it doesn't get renewed so they can maybe even start over, or maybe hopefully we can hope for a Halo movie.
I think it's pretty consistent for the last season, how they had an action shot episode, and then they had like no action in an episode, then they had action, and then no action. So I think that non-Halo people, I just give the TV show some grace. I think it's pretty good. They need they have to have a background story about what's going on, and not just action all the time. But I enjoy it. It's pretty good.
Yes, I think that's what I was kind of going to go. My next point was, if you're watching this and you're not coming from playing the video games or the original, it might be a 6 or 7 for you, which that's a decent score. But if you're a Halo fan, yeah, it's going down that same route. But the good thing is, it looks like the episode that's going to be releasing this week is going to have more action, and hopefully the final 2 episodes after this week also have a lot of action. Hopefully. It's just they're trying too hard to take what Marvel did with their cinematic universe, because if you know Marvel, they have the MCU, and it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's technically different than the comic books, and that's what they did with this series. They called it the Silver Timeline, which it's it's not Marvel. It's not a comic book. There's so much lore and people who are Halo fans from the video games are really going to watch it because they want to see new lore, new things, or at least similar lore. But it's going completely off the rails. Characters are dying that would have been alive in the game. But I don't know. I still going to watch and enjoy it, but it's slowly kind of falling down. But a show that I have enjoyed is Avatar: The Last Airbender. That show is the opposite of Halo. So I feel like if you're an Avatar fan, at least from my perspective, you're going to like it more than someone who might not be an Avatar fan, because I've found myself like at points being like, wow, I really am so excited for this point of the show, but am I only this excited because I know the backstories of the characters from the animated show, if that makes sense? Because what the show does, that live action one on Netflix, is it really condenses everything down. And so there's not as much backstory with the characters that you get in the animated series. So I feel like some of the backstory from the animated series I'm projecting onto the live action characters. So I have a bigger connection to the characters in the live action series than maybe someone who didn't see the animated series. I don't know. You haven't watched it yet, but because I was specifically the last episode, I was like, man, this is so epic. But then I was like, man, this is so epic because I know all their backstories. So I'm interested to talk if you end up watching it, to see how you like it, because you didn't watch really.
I'm not going to watch it. I don't
Okay, well, never mind.
I've told him this multiple times. I don't like it. I don't like something about cartoons.
Well, it's not a cartoon.
Something about cartoons I don't like.
Well, it's a live action.
Cartoons.
But it's a live action. Anyways, all right. So Musk. The next news is Musk sues OpenAI. A lot of people don't realize Musk was one of the co-founders or an early investors of OpenAI, and the original purpose of it was to be a nonprofit. In 2019, they changed their LLC status to a for-profit business, which Elon Musk is now suing and arguing that is against his contract that he originally had. So that is going on with OpenAI, along with the crazy videos that it's soon going to be releasing.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm sweating. But it's crazy. Have you seen the videos?
I've only seen a few, if we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. We're definitely talking about. You want me to play a few? This is videos directly from their YouTube channel. We'll just quickly go through them. This is all done by just writing in a text. I want to see a kangaroo dancing on a dance floor. And they show you the prompt. The crazy thing to me, how realistic the fur is. Like,
oh, it's bizarre how real these videos are coming out. It's
like none of this is
scary.
real. It's all fake, but it's real at the same time because like they look so real.
It also makes you think about remember when the voice first came out, when people were getting fake kidnapped,
Oh, yeah.
and they could record your voice and have your voice. Now they can have your actual being, and that's really weird.
Yeah, and
Think about it.
this has worried filmmakers so much that Tyler Perry paused Tyler Perry had an $800 million renovation on his studios, or expansion of his studios, but he put that on pause after seeing this, which makes sense because if you're a filmmaker, stock footage in, getting stock footage for clients or going out and shooting drone shots and whatnot of areas, that you have to pay monthly subscription fees for that, or you have to pay $75 to buy a clip from online, or $80, and that can get expensive. This will literally wipe out having to you find stock footage completely.
And I feel like a day-to-day person who doesn't keep up with the technology, or like doesn't care about it, doesn't think about it, has no idea like how mind-blowing like this really is.
Mm-hmm.
For some people are freaking out, shaking in their boots, like to be able to produce content like that. Like if you haven't seen how there's
like, look at this
influencers, you can find influencers that are robots that people made, that are AI bots that people made, that have OnlyFans and that make money and that go out and like you can see them drinking coffee and doing activities, and they're in their bikinis, and they have subscribers and people that follow them, and it's literally AI. Like, that is so crazy. I don't know if if you haven't came across an AI bot on Instagram, I hope you do, and I hope it comes on your feed, because it is very creepy the first time you see one.
It's crazy because like you see the lighting,
They are made very real.
And remember, this is the worst it's gonna get. It's only gonna get better. And so as time goes on, the one thing that I could see to be a problem if you're trying to make films out of this is like if you create a character like you saw previously of the robot, you probably are not going to be able to create that same exact robot in every scene. So once they are able to, you're like maybe able to import characters, like 3D characters that you created, and put them into 3D environments, or that's going to end up...
I wonder if there's going to be like an AI class. Like, I know there's stuff that you can take out of school, but I mean like in grade school, I wonder if they're going to implement an AI like subcategory, or like a college AI class or some shit like that.
Oh, look at this
like,
one.
Bizarre.
So like this one, you could tell like that person's face looks a little out of whack. Like her hand is kind of weird. But like I said, this is just the beginning. And like this is the worst it's going to get. So in the future, this could be very scary or very, very intriguing in the sense of if you're a filmmaker, a video creator, a content creator of any type, this is going to be the baseline of you and your competition. And if you do not use this and just accept the baseline, then it's going to be like everyone's going to be producing the same exact stuff.
Could you imagine a school project and they're like, you can use AI, whatever you want, and someone that doesn't use AI stock footage and somebody that does, their project's gonna look so much more realistic than their classmates. It's gonna be very sad.
Yeah, and it's just like what's gonna happen is the people who invest a lot of time into mastering, still editing and things along those lines, and then use these tools, enhance their skills, they're going to really excel, while the people who just kind of use them at their baseline, it's just what AI does. It makes you go from bad to good really quickly. But to get from good to great, or great to like whatever, God mode, you still are going to have to put in the time and effort no matter what AI does. And whoever does that is going to, be the top of the game still. So I'm excited for this, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like so aligned with your line of work. It's kind of bizarre. It kind of just came out, too. I mean, obviously, people were expecting it, but, like, I remember just one day I just woke up and there's a video out.
Yeah, because
showing.
Because, like, you
what
could
AI
do
can
stuff like that. Like, I was doing stuff like that with a software called Stable Diffusion. But if you look at it, it's very, very, unstable in the sense of the images it creates. There's a lot of jittering. And this kind of came out of left field, like you said, because everyone was thinking OpenAI was literally focusing mainly in on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, they throw this out there, and
it's like, of course they did.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, they also are working on this as well, because you had Midjourney and DALL-E. Well, I guess they did create DALL-E with image generators, but no one really thought they were going to do this. Runway is an app that I've used, and they were really dominating this area. So I'm excited. It's going to make making things more fun for me. I feel like if you have a good imagination, it makes your imagination into things that you can create endless. So I'm excited. And if you're not, then you're going to get left behind. So just learn to be excited. All right, so the last topic, I guess it's not the last topic, but, is the hot take of the week. Do you have your hot take, or you want me to go first?
You can go first. You're ready.
My hot take is Oppenheimer is an overrated movie. It is 3 hours long. In the whole movie, you have these beautiful shots of like atoms splitting and whatnot. So you spend the whole movie them hyping up the explosion, and then when it gets to the explosion, it is so underwhelming. I thought it was going to be so much bigger. I thought they were going to have a bunch of cool shots of the atoms breaking and stuff.
I didn't even know it happened when it happened.
You fell asleep. You didn't even watch it. So yeah, I just felt like it was just super overrated, and I feel like Christopher Nolan could have done a better job with the explosion, because he did so good on the cinematography using practical effects before the explosion to hype it up. But then once it came there, it was just so underwhelming for me that I was like, I waited 3 hours to see this, and then. Yeah, so that's my hot take. I feel like it's not going to win that many. It might win. Has the Academy Awards happened yet? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. I feel like the only thing that it might win is Best Score, and maybe like visual effects, because they did a lot of those things, like not using CGI as much. But besides that, what's your hot take?
Hot take of the week. I forgot. I guess I have to have. Reading is cool. And I feel like this is already known. Obviously, this is a lame hot take, but I forgot how much I like reading. And I've been reading the past couple days, and...
She steals her books from online.
What?
I'm joking.
I forgot how much reading is good for the soul. Just sitting down and reading, even if it's like 10, 20 minutes a day. It's another one of those activities that make you sit and do nothing and be very in tune with what the words you're reading on a piece of paper. So yeah, my hot take, reading is cool.
That's not really a hot take.
Then what is a hot take? Can everything be a hot take?
I mean, I guess reading is cool. Is a cool hot take.
Can everything be a hot take?
I think a hot take is more of like something that's people think, most people think is something, and then you're the complete opposite.
Oh.
I feel like there's a lot of people that think reading's cool.
Hot take, I guess I don't like hot takes. I guess I agree with everyone.
I guess hot take is, I guess reading is cool can be your hot take. All right, that's it for this week. Like and subscribe, and we're planning on like doing some more videos that are less podcasty, like that we can kind of script for you guys. It's just we're sick.
So first video back from being sick. Sorry if it's boring. Who gives a shit? We're excited to be back and to be podcasting and to be posting. Thank you.
Peace.